So we're going to start this series off talking about how to identify squirrel damage on a shingled roof. Now, in different roofs, you're going to see different types of damage, but the most common that you're going to see is a shingled roof. So I'm going to show you a situation here on this house I'm at, and it'll be some of the more common ways you can tell there's a squirrel. Some of these will require you to get on a roof. Obviously, if it's a really high or steep roof, it can be challenging to see stuff like this. In this particular situation, the way that we found there were squirrels here is we could see them going right into the roof from this spot. And I'm also just going to show you a few things that we would do in this situation to get rid of these squirrels. So here is the culprit of one of our squirrel issues on this house here. You can see that it either was chewed across so they could open this up, or the shingle fell off. I'm not really too sure there, but from the ground this looks really normal. It's just a regular piece of flashing on the side of the house. You can't see really anything until you come up top, and you can see obviously they're getting right into the attic. I don't know if there's really any damage in the attic yet. I have not been in the attic yet, but you can obviously tell this is more than enough room for a squirrel to get into. So I'll move right next to this. You'll be able to see this here is what they call a ridge guard. So this is the whole, usually runs the whole peak of the house, and it covers these shingles here that are basically just one layer before you get into the attic. So these here are in decent shape. You can see the end is wide open. So if you were to peel this back, which this is all getting a guard on it, you can see that it is really just a direct entry right in there. So there's a small, like a W-shaped vent. Otherwise you can get right in. So if we walk these, we can find a spot where they're starting to get loose. So here's a good example. So you can see the squirrel can pry right into that. So we actually have a product that covers those. And if you look down here, you can actually see that whole plumbing vent, the lead is chewed straight off. So definitely a squirrel situation going on here. Like I said, we had already seen the squirrels getting in, so we knew that. But here's just another area that's probably getting them in. It's just a small gap. And so let me go over kind of what we would do for a situation like this. So this is a bare bones trap that has not been covered yet. So typically all of these traps, we're going to go ahead and cover them up. We wrap these traps in another layer of steel, and then we wrap them in a plastic cover basically to keep the squirrels calm. And also so that if you have any neighbors or anybody that's coming by, with this wide open, you tend to get a lot of calls or people knocking on your door. So we cover that just so for peace of mind, so that the squirrel, when he's caught, he's safe, he's quiet, he feels protected, and also you don't have nosy neighbors or people knocking on your door telling you have a squirrel. We do check these daily. Being a live trap, we check them every 24 hours. We're required to. So it's not really a problem as far as hiding it from you, the customer. It's more so to keep the squirrel peaceful and not to start freaking out and causing more noise on top of the roof. So typically what we would do in a situation like this is a trap would go here. It would be set so this door would be open like this, and we would do what's called a funnel, where we would block all of this surrounding area off, and we would funnel the hole into the trap. Now what that means is basically we would build up a cage that goes around and directs any traffic straight into this trap. Once it's triggered, obviously they would be stuck in there until we can get back. And we relocate all of our squirrels to a safe area. We never harm them. We believe that it's better to have them in the ecosystem, in nature, doing their job. We just don't want them living in your house. So we will transport them, you know, a good ways from the house so they aren't a problem anymore. But basically we would funnel that so that nothing's getting in. And at that point, it's going to do one of two things. So one, if there's anything in there, it's going to go ahead and let it out. It's going to get trapped. It has no really other choice. Or two, the squirrel, if it's not living in there at that time, after a few days, we'll be able to know that if anything wanted to come out, it would have come out. So it's either going to be caught or he will not have access into the home. So it's a really great process. It works really well. There are a few other things we do if it got more extreme, if squirrels were chewing into the house or having any other issues like that. But typically this is going to be the most foolproof way after all of those gaps are sealed in the house to make sure that that squirrel can get out safely and we can get him put into a new area. All right, thanks for watching. On the next part of this series, we're going to cover raccoons. So that might be a little bit longer of a video. We're going to go into depth about how to trap raccoons, how to tell if you've got an area that's got raccoons, how to know if there's damage on your house, all that fun stuff. So just look out for the next video so we can talk about that and keep you informed on what's going on. Thanks.